Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Destiny 2. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salutations. Today, Solstice of Heroes. Let's get to it. So the Solstice of Heroes event is now live, and we have 4 weeks of this event. So what is it about, and what does it mean? So this event allows you to get the Solstice armor for each class of hero that you have. So if you have a hunter, a titan, and a warlock, you can get Solstice armor for all of them. Now when you start off, it starts off as green, and then you do certain activities to turn it into blue, do more activities to turn it into legendary, and then you can do more activities to masterwork it. Now you say, oh, I've done this before last year, and it took a lot of time in order to grind it out, and it really didn't do anything for me. It gave me a little bit of a power boost, but then as soon as the next DLC came out, it was in the trash. Now this time around, it is a little bit different because the Solstice armor is going to be the first armor that you can earn that will be armor 2.0. Now, during the current season, during the season of Opulence, it will not be Armor 2.0, but there will be some way in order to turn it into Armor 2.0 once Shadowkeep releases. Now, whether there's something that you have to do additionally in order to turn it into Armor 2.0 or whether it automatically turns in, we don't really know. I would assume the latter. All right, so now that that's out of the way, how do we start this whole quest line and what do we do? You'll want to talk to Eva Levante in the tower. She will give you the helmet and tell you to go to the EAZ. Now, in order to go to the EAZ, you'll either need to be in the tower and go to the opposite side of that statue to start the mission, and there is matchmaking for up to 3 guardians. Or when you're on the destination's map, you go to the tower, and then right above the central landing zone, there is a blue marker that is for the EAZ, so you can go either way. So if you're already in the tower, you can go from there. If you're somewhere else and you want to go to the EAZ, you can go to destinations and then the tower and then go to the EAZ. Now once you go through the EAZ one time, then you go back and talk to Eva, and she will give you the rest of the pieces of the armor for your class. And of course, it's all green armor. Now, 2 important things to know about the EAZ. One is that the more bosses you kill in the first phase, the more chests you'll be able to find in the last phase. And once you get to the final boss, you don't have a time limit, you don't have respawn restriction, you just keep going until you take them out. Now the other thing is that the treasure chests are hidden throughout the map, and it is very maze-like, so knowing where the chests pop up will help you a great deal in future EAZ encounters, because you'll be able to go straight to those chests. So if you take out 6 bosses, there'll be 6 chests. If you take out 10 bosses, there'll be 10 chests, etc. And each chest will either have a Solstice box or key fragments. The most important of the 2 are Solstice boxes, because the EAZ is the only place where you can earn Solstice boxes. Outside of the EAZ, any activity that you do is going to earn you key fragments. Crucible, Gambit, strikes, patrols, public events, escalation protocol, blind well, nightfall, raids, those will all give you key fragments. So it is easy to see how you can get a whole bunch of key fragments and run out of boxes to use them on. So you'll need 15 key fragments for each box, and each box has a chance of having a legendary item, but it could also have a rare item. They can have enhancement cores, and they can have planetary resources. So after filling up that tribute hall and buying those tributes, you might be a little bit low on at least some resources, and this is one way that you can get those back. Now during the solstice, each day you have an elemental buff, and each element will go through rotation. So either each day will be solar, void, or arc, and it should go through a cycle. So solar was the first day, and then void might be the second day, and then arc the third day, whatever, and it'll just go in order. Once you pick up 30 orbs, then all of a sudden you'll become empowered. And depending on what element it is, that will determine what bonus you get. And you'll get to use that bonus for about 30 seconds. So solar, once you collect 30 of them, then you'll be empowered, and guardians emit a burning wave that damages anything around you. Void, while you're empowered, you can crouch to go invisible and gain true sight, plus you get abilities back faster. Arc empowerment, you will move faster and deal more damage with swords and melee attacks. So you might be saying, well, how can I get key fragments faster? Well, you can go through any of the activities that you enjoy and get them done relatively quickly, something that you enjoy, and then you'll get those key fragments relatively quickly. You can go through Nightfall and you'll get around 20 key fragments. You can go through Gambit and you can get 13 to 17 key fragments. Crucibles about the same. Strikes are about the same. Patrols, you get 1 to 3 key fragments. Public events, you get 5 key fragments. EP, you get 3 key fragments. So all these activities, you get key fragments, and the relative speed that you can get through them is what determines the range of key fragments. So patrols are relatively easy, so you can get that done relatively quickly, which is why you get the least number of fragments for doing those. Nightfall is a higher end type of activity, which is why you get more for it. The other side of that is that Nightfalls generally take longer to complete. Now, in order to upgrade your armor, you will notice certain activities that you have to do. So you're going to have to go through the EAZ or Gambit, Crucible, Strikes, what have you, generate those elemental orbs, get kills, etc. Now do make sure that you pick up the bounties from Eva, both the weekly bounty and the daily bounties, for some extra key fragments. Now one important thing to note is that each class of Guardian, Hunter, Warlock, and Titan, although they have the same activities required for each level of the Solstice armor, so the green, the blue, the purple, the helmets, and the arm piece, they are all mixed up. So the activities that I need to do with my Hunter, with my helmet, may be different than the Warlock's helmet and the Titan's helmet. Additionally, although all the activities are the same, so you have to generate orbs in Strikes or you have to generate orbs in Gambit, the element will be different. So the Hunter may need to do solar orbs in Gambit or Crucible, whereas the Warlock needs to do arc orbs in Gambit or Crucible, and the Titan needs to do void orbs in Gambit or Crucible. So all of a sudden it becomes important to run with people that also need the same type of orbs, because it will help you get those orbs faster. And finally, it will take a while to get this done, and don't be surprised if it takes you a week or more in order to get your Solstice armor finished. This whole event is designed for each class of Guardian to take approximately 9 days to go from starting the quest line of getting the armor until you get that masterworked armor. Now, if it takes you less time, then great, then you're ahead of the game. If it takes you more time, then you're going to have to speed it up if you want to get all 3 classes with the fully unlocked masterwork Solstice armor. And that's it. Enjoy your journey getting your Masterwork Solstice armor, all the way from green where it starts to the rare, to the legendary, to the Masterwork. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
One more in the grave. 10 seconds and I pull you back. Compromise. Hit it with everything you've got. You're being invaded. Find them before they find you. They wanted a fight. You gave it to them. Guardian down. Brother, you've got some moves. What a haul! I promise.